Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and another Monday mix. Now before getting to today's episode, I'd just like to address a couple of things. Now firstly, regarding the Mega Marathon Monday 50p coin hunt, I did mention on the £2 coin hunt just gone, and I think I'm also mentioning it on a couple of the 50p hunts due to come up as well, that I didn't know who was taking part, how many people were taking part, what my time slot was or anything like that. But finally, Trevor from Coins to Collect has contacted me, and turns out there's going to be 9 of us taking part. And the running order is as follows. So Trevor Coins to Collect kicks off at 12 p.m. Then we've got Sunland Coin Hunt at 1, Master Temple's Treasures at 2 Coin of Phrase at 3, Rich H Hunts at 4, myself at 5, Christopher Collects at 6, Grossy Coin Hunts at 7, and finishing things off at 8 p.m. is Bungle Collects. So all of us have chipped in towards a Kew Gardens, so one lucky viewer will actually win that. We've also going to be deciding on a coin name that we will be mentioning throughout the hunt. Now the second thing is regarding the likes and dislikes, etc. I think I've got a troll returning back to the channel because I've noticed on quite a few of the 50p coin hunts, whether they're good, very good, or even bad, there's always been somebody disliking it for some reason, with no apparent reason. Last week, as you can remember, we've got the Isaac Newton. There's quite a few others as well. It was a really good hunt, a dislike. And then I've noticed that the subscriber is going up one, then down one, then up one, down one. So I don't know whether they're just subscribing, then unsubscribing. I don't know. It just seems an absolute total waste of time. Now, on top of that, I've had to delete one comment that came in after the 50p hunt last week. It's all right putting a comment in where we can have a good discussion about it, but when you start sort of getting a bit personal, so to speak, I will actually delete the comment. Plus, none of it was true anyway, but certain persons, probably like a keyboard warrior sitting there playing Minecraft for hours on end, I've got no idea. So the likes and the dislike button might at some point just get taken off because it's just not getting used in the correct way. Alright, so let's get into today's episode. So regarding CoinWise, I was waiting for a coin set to turn up, but it still hasn't. So this is the latest in the Star Wars Space Vehicle series. This is the Empire's TIE Fighter, and in BU form I think this design works pretty well. You might say yes, there's a lot of empty space on it, but it just looks like the vehicle's going through like the star system. Then we've got that lenticular feature on the top where if you tip it one way you get the, I think it's the Empire emblem, and then you tip it another way. But anyway, that is the latest one, the Star Wars TIE Fighter. It did come with a scratch card, so I'm going to quickly remove this to see if we've got anything that we need. And it looks like it's a Commonwealth Games 1986, which I think I've already got. Yeah, I definitely have that one. I think it's the Commonwealth Games Northern Ireland I still need, and there's a couple of the Olympics as well. Now, a few weeks ago I was in contact with Ten Bob, and she'd emailed me to say she was thinking of getting rid of some of her coin collection, and there was one set in particular that she offered me before she actually sold it elsewhere. Now it turns out that the set she'd offered me I already had, but I've never ever shown it on the channel, so I thought it was a good idea to do that today. And it is the Millennium coin set from the Isle of Man, 1979, celebrating 1,000 years of uninterrupted self-government. And each of the coin features a scene from the island's maritime history. Now, the obverse, all done by Arnold Mackem. So I'm just going to turn this back over. I've got this little blue pamphlet that tells you a bit more about the coins. Alright, so we start, as you can see, that tin-walled Millennium. And we've got the, if I can zoom in here, this is the 11th and 12th century. This features Godred Crovan at the helm of a Viking ship, and it's got the cartouche there of Tynwald Hill. Godred Crovan was the son of Harold the Black of Iceland, defeated the Manx king Fingal II in 1079 and established the dynasty that ruled until 1290. So he's actually portrayed in the prow of the ship. And the galley is based on that of the Gokstad ship of the same period, which is now preserved in Sweden. Moving on to the 13th and 14th century. This is an English cog ship, and we've got Castle Rushen in the background. I mean, they were known as cogs or cocks, that's C-O-Q-U-E-S by the way, or cogs spelled K-O-G-G-E-S, and traded throughout the North Sea, the Celtic Sea and the Baltic. And Castle Rushen, which as I said is in the background, was actually captured by Robert the Bruce, King of Scotland in 1313. But the island was restored to English rule in between 1333 and 1334. We'll move on to the 15th and 16th centuries. And this has got a Flemish carrick off St Michael's Isle, which is in Derby Haven. This vessel was actually the forerunner of the galleon, and it usually had 3 masts. So in the background we've got St Michael's Island, which is near the present Ronaldsway Airport. And then to the left and the right can be seen the Derby Fort, which is there, and St Michael's Chapel. We've got the 17th and 18th century. This is just depicting a Manx soldier and an English man-of-war ship. So this would have been like the Civil War period. It's based on, the ship is based on the Sovereign of the Seas, built for King Charles I in 1637. And the Isle of Man played a conspicuous part in the Civil War. James, Earl of Derby and Lord of Man, was captured after the Battle of Worcester in 1651 and executed at Bolton. His wife continued to hold the island in the name of King Charles II till Man was betrayed to the Commonwealth by William Christian. And finally, 19th and 20th century, we've got the portrait there of the founder of the RNLI, Sir William Hillary, who was a Manx resident. We've got a lifeboat. So obviously we've just had the RNLI coin of the 50 pence that was issued. Fortunately not into circulation. So this coin represented a lifeboat going to the aid of a ship in distress. I've already mentioned about the portrait of Sir William Hillary. And the lifeboat movement had its beginnings in the Isle of Man. Now, as well as founding the Royal National Lifeboat Institution, he also built the Tower of Refuge, which is such a prominent landmark in Douglas Bay. So that's the 5 coin set, Tynwald Millennium, and it is a very nice set indeed, and I'm pleased it's in the collection. Right, so let's move on to some notable events that happened on the 13th of May. Celebrating his 85th birthday today, born in 1939, was American actor Harvey Keitel. Also born on this day in 1914 was the American boxer Joe Louis. And also celebrating his 74th birthday today, in 1950, the artist Stevie Wonder was born. He was actually born Steveland Hardaway Judkins, but he was also known as Steveland Hardaway Morris as well. Several hits. I mean, he's been sort of blind since birth, but as it says there, by the age of 8, he was a well-renowned musician. There wasn't many notable deaths at all that I can really relate to, apart from this one, who died in 2019, and that was the famous actress and singer Doris Day. She was aged 97. But 65 years previous, she'd actually hit the UK #1 with the song Secret Love from the film Calamity Jane of 1953. And that remained at #1 for 8 weeks. Now, I know I didn't do a #1 last week, which was my fault. I did forget. But to make up for that, I'll also mention another song from 1961 by the Marcells, and that was Blue Moon. And probably in a week's time, that song will be getting sung in Manchester, because I have a funny feeling that Manchester City are going to win the Premiership title yet again. Now, also events-wise, in 1940, after becoming Prime Minister, Winston Churchill addressed the House of Commons for the very first time, and used his often mentioned famous quote that I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears and sweat. Also in 2006, the last FA Cup final was played at the Millennium Stadium while the new Wembley was being built. They did think Wembley would have been ready for the final, but it was delayed until 2007. So in 2006, Liverpool won the last FA Cup final, beating West Ham United on penalties 3-1 after a thrilling 3-3 draw, which took the game to extra time, Steve Gerrard netting the equaliser in injury time in normal time. Now, going back to UK #1s, we'll also mention, if you saw the Eurovision on Saturday night, the 50 years ago to this day, ABBA with Waterloo hit the #1 spot. And with that in mind, today's spotlight is actually on the Waterloo coin from 2015. Now, this coin, strangely enough, was actually done with, it had 2 obverses. There was the ones that went into the annual set, which was done by Ian Rank Broadley. It depicts the Duke of Wellington on the right, meeting the Prussian General Gebhard Lieberecht von Blücher. And that was after they defeated Napoleon I. Now, in the copper nickel version, there was 51,027 minted. 17,897 were in the BU annual set, and 33,130 in the BU packs, as shown here. There's also a silver proof, which is 0.925 silver, of which there was 664 issued. 298 were in an annual silver proof coin set, and 366 sold in a 5-coin commemorative silver proof set. Now, it did have an edge inscription on that one, the nearest run thing you ever saw, which apparently what Wellington said after the battle was over, because the English nearly lost, but thanks to the Prussians coming in time, they managed to get through the French right flanks, and the war swung the other way. There was also a gold proof, which had an issue limit of 100, and it says there was 99 sold. Now, there was individual coins sold with the Jodie Clark portrait on. There was a gold proof, which had a limit of 500, of which 273 were sold. There was also a silver proof Piedfort with a limit of 1,500, and there was 896 of those sold. And lastly, a silver proof, which had a limit of 3,000, and 2,523 of those were sold. All individual coins, which is a bit unusual saying like an individual coin with a different portrait on, but obviously the 2015 we did have the change of portraits. So apart from the copper nickel one that I mentioned earlier, all of them have that edge inscription that I mentioned. And unfortunately, it is a coin I do not have in the collection, but I will get it at some point, I no doubt. So that's it for today, folks. Thank you for watching, and until the next time, keep on hunting, enjoy yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.